Sarah, could you come in here?
Yep, coming. Oh, wow. What kind of underwear are those?
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
What are those?
Guys.
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
Yes, they have these tiny holes to let the air through. Can you help me?
Wow, well, wee-woo. Look at those. Can you feel this?
Yeah. Turn around for me.
Seriously?
Slower, go slower.
Okay?
I don't think you should get that dress. It doesn't fit.
Stay cool with breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
The Pacific Northwest, nothing more beautiful, and we are back here in Portland, Oregon. A warm day here at halftime as the Thorns and the Dash are battling it out on the pitch. We're more than halfway through the 2017 season, and tickets to the 2017 NWSL Championship game will go on sale Tuesday, August 15th. The championship will be held at the Orlando City Stadium on Saturday, October 14th, and will be broadcast live on Lifetime with the kickoff time to be announced. For more information, log on to nwslchampionship.com. Of course, we had the international break last week, folks, but we have some accolades to hand out from the week before. It was a fantastic weekend of matches, and how about this? Megan Rapinoe, we have Cole goals of the week because that was a beauty. Up and over the wall, down past the keeper in the corner of the net. Rapinoe gets goal of the week, but so does her U.S. international team teammate, Kristen Press. Check out that first touch. Cuts off Allie Krieger with a touch, past the keeper again, cool as you like, slots it home. She gets goal of the week honors as well. Chicago won that game 2-0, and a big reason for that, and big reason they're top of the table, listen there, the goalkeeper. Check this out. Point-blank header opportunity for Alex Morgan. Bats it away, keeps her team up. They go on to win that game, as I just mentioned, the U.S. International #1 doing her part with the save of the week. Now, player of the week, no surprise here, Megan Rapinoe. Hat trick in that game. We saw the one beauty, then from the penalty spot, and she would finish it off in what was a wild 5-4 win for Seattle at home. She is your player of the week, but she wasn't done there. She's your player of the month. She's the leading goal scorer in the league right now with 12 goals and just harasses defenses at times, and sometimes defenses set her up, but then she can do that too. Beautiful right foot. I can't look at that enough. She is your player of the month of July, 5 goals in 4 games, and she leads the league with 12 goals. There were some games last night as we shift now to the current situation here. Friday night, we had a couple games. We'll start you with the highlights here. Washington on the road, it's Sky Blue. They're down 1-0, but not after this. Aerial shift, beautiful first touch, puts it out front, and then just tattoos one in the corner from distance. That knotted the game up at 1, and Ship was not done though, folks. This game on 4 goals in the second half. Here she assists for Shayna Williams. That's the go-ahead goal. She would add another assist, Shipwood, later in the game. 4-1, Washington come from behind win for the Spirit. Boston and KC were also in action last night. Let's get you the highlights there. And this was a pretty interesting game too, and Rosie White was doing her thing. Check this out. One-time finish over the top. Off the set piece, beautiful shot there. She tied it, and then she took them up top, 2-1 over KC, but late in the game, Eric Timrock, 81st minute. She puts it away and just breaks the Breakers' hearts as it just trickles past the keeper into the back of the net. 2-2 is your final for Boston and KC. Tonight, we got some more great games coming up for you as well. North Carolina and Seattle, 7:30 from North Carolina. That is a top 4 clash. Orlando takes on top of the table Red Stars at 7:30. Now Tuesday, quick turnaround for the Pride. They host the Spirit. And then KC and Carolina, that game was abandoned right before the international break. They got to the 39th minute. Weather would not allow them to continue, so that is the rescheduled game for Thursday, August 10th. Go90 app, go90.com to watch those news and information, nwslsoccer.com. And for tickets to any of these games, nwslsoccer.com/tickets. Next week, we continue with our NWSL Game of the Week on Lifetime. We go to the nation's capital. Mallory Pugh will be hosting Boston and the Breakers. Saturday, August 12th. Coverage begins at 3:30 on Lifetime Eastern, 12:30 Pacific Time, live. Do not miss it. Spirit and the Breakers should be a great game from Washington. Now, when we return, we're coming back to Portland. It's beautiful out there, but it's also beautiful on the pitch. Jen and Allie will break down the first half. Look forward to the second half. Don't go anywhere.
I want my warrior mentality.
Lloyd will take the shot!
To rub off on everyone.
You're up against the best of the best.
Fans
are basically the 12th man. We have an unbelievable fan base. That's why I do what I do. If you get a group of women behind something, there's no stopping us.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the National Women's Soccer League and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the National Women's Soccer League.
A crucial 3 points up for grabs as Portland and Houston meet for the second time this season. Well, they've already surpassed the scoreline of the first match. That was a 1-1 draw. We've got 2-1 after the first half. Jen Hildreth, Allie Wagner, and Allie, I'd say we're pretty entertained after that one.
I mean, if the second half is anything like the first one, I'm going to be excited because it was end-to-end action. It was quality in the final third, and it starts off here with Portland getting on the board first. Klingenberg serves a nice ball into the box. Houston's unable to clear it, and then Emily Sonnet pounces on it, puts it away, and here comes Portland again. That woman right there, Kristen Sinclair, she's the one who gets that initial shot off. She's been active all day long and been a problem for Houston. But Houston returns down the flank, foul from behind by Horan, and then Lloyd steps up to the PK that they earn. And by the way, that penalty was earned by Katie Heap, her first start for Houston. But Portland did not die. Here they come again. Back down the other end. Tyler Lucy gets her first goal, opens her account in the NWSL.
An excellent first half. Portland out in front by 1. We'll have the second half coming up from Providence Park when we come back on Lifetime.
Let's get nuts. This Friday, join Will Arnett, Jackie Chan, Katherine Heigl, and Maya Rudolph.
Roll over.
What are you doing? Roll over.
I don't know how. I'm not classically trained.
For the last family comedy event of the summer.
That is a lot of sugar for a little guy.
The Nut Job 2, rated PG.
2-1, Portland leads Houston after the first 45, and Dallin is standing by with Houston head coach Omar Morales.
Omar, you guys seem to grow into the game. You equalized, but then gave a final 2-1 here at the halftime. What would you say to the team at the halftime, and what needs to change going forward?
I just think we need to do a better job of, once again, keeping the ball, finding the pockets of space in the midfield that we can exploit, and just competing. Winning the first one and the second one, we did a terrible job. I felt like in the first half of winning the first one and the second one. So we just have to improve that, and we'll be okay.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
This is one of those teams when you play against Portland, Allie, you wonder how difficult is it to find those pockets of space that Omar Morales was talking about for his team?
Well, I mean, I think Portland does such a nice job possessing it that the time you're going to be on the ball is fewer to begin with, or it's less to begin with. But it's in moments like this that they have to take care of it, spin out, and there is going to be space. I mean, every team gives you space, right? Whether it's inside that triangle in the midfield, whether it's outside the triangle in front of those outside backs, there's space in this little pocket that Becky's receiving it, but that first touch fails her, and that's where it breaks down, for instance.
Here comes the facilitator for Portland, Christine Sinclair, stood up by Van Wyk, who has to stand up herself to keep the ball. It's a little push after the fact from Lucy, but the ball's still going forward for Houston. Temperature has been rising out on the field. Karen Apta, referee, notifying everyone that there will be a hydration break added on in the second half. Dallin, you can back that up, right? And it's pretty hot out there on the turf.
Yeah, Jen, it's warm down here. I know we were in the mid-70s when we kicked off, but the temperature has grown. It's up to 82.6, so over the 82 degrees, which is now the revised rules. That said, the field turf is emanating heat, and as Dr. Wagner was telling us last night, she believes 40 to 60 degrees hotter on the turf. I wouldn't say it's that hot, but it does feel significantly warmer down here. I'm in my golf clothes, and I'm still sweating.
Of course you are.
Well, I'm not a doctor, I'm a scientist, Dallin, but yes, it does get a lot hotter on that turf.
Houston attempting to keep a club record 6-match unbeaten streak going. They've won their last 2 matches on the road, but trail by 1 here in Portland. Sinclair moving across the field. That was Reynolds able to get into the attack, something we didn't see in the first half for Portland. Now Daly Gets it up to Prince, who wants to turn. Prince working around Sonnet just outside the reach of her foot. Klingenberg, a lot of contact coming in. She wanted a foul, actually.
I mean, you could talk about pockets of space, but it's knowing what to do in those pockets of space. And that last attack for Portland, it's Sinclair finding the space and then cutting inside. For Houston, it was Lloyd. She was on it. She gets in that space and she knows how to exploit it. So it's not just sitting in there, it's knowing what to do when you get the ball in there. And there's two great examples from both teams.
That may be an area, Allie, where you miss an Andresina, you miss a Morgan Bryant, two players who are really key in the midfield for this Houston team.
Yeah, I mean, I think Houston's had to pretty much see this whole season out without the likes of a Morgan Bryant. I mean, they've had her at times, so I don't know that she's been that big of a miss for them, but Andresina for sure, and her ability on that final ball, she's been so good leading this team in assists. We'll see if they bring her on.
Becky gets onto this ball, gets it to Pollyanna, sends the cross in, headed away from the goal. It's going to come back down. Reynolds will have to make another play. Back on her feet is Levin. But Dallin, talking about Andresina, you've got more on the Brazilian.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I talked to Omar Morales before the game, and he said Andresina's a little tired. I mean, she logged a lot of minutes in the Tournament of Nations. That tournament just ended less than 48 hours ago. He did say, however, though, thinks he can give her she can give him about a half, maybe 30 minutes. We'll see if he brings her on soon. He did say it would be a loss. She's second in the league in chances created, 34.
Chance here. Thank you, Dallin. Now, Andresina played the full 90 in all 3 matches for Brazil in the Tournament of Nations. It's a lot of work in a short span of time.
And that's going to be the evolution of the NWSL as well, as getting depth to weather those storms when you lose some of your top players for international duty.
None of the players on the field who were involved in the Tournament of Nations played the full 90 in all 3 matches.
It sounded like when Dallin spoke to Mark that he was thinking of bringing on Long and Henri potentially. I'm just assuming those were the heavy hitters he alluded to.
Amandine Henri has been away since July 1st when she had to report for training for the European Championships with her French team.
I have all the respect in the world for Amandine Henri. I think she's a fantastic midfielder, right up there, world class. But I do think that the Portland Thorns have almost benefited when she's been away. They've upped their tempo, and we'll see if when she comes back in, if they can still hold this rhythm, this pace to the game that they've been having over the past few games.
Lloyd won it back for Houston after Brooks did an excellent job bringing the ball forward. Now Pollyanna will send it in. Prince wanted somebody there alongside her.
But she wanted that ball, but she has no one around her really to bring that down to. Pollyanna sends her a ball with 4 Portland players around her. I'd like to see Houston get around the edge a bit more when they are in possession.
Daly has yet to get free around the goal in this match.
And you'd have to think that's by design. Portland's going to watch her like a hawk in her movement.
Becky hops back up to her feet. Houston will take the kick. Henri, the 27-year-old midfielder from France, warming up on the sideline. He's appeared in 12 matches this season, has 1 goal.
Parsons probably surprised to have her back. They didn't advance through the Euros. And Denmark did, and Nadim's gone.
Right.
Go figure.
Now Brooks. We've seen excellent service from the former Tar Heel. Headed, but not on frame. Carly Lloyd had to like the setup.
Yeah, she rose up well for that one. Better option probably to head that back across the goal, allow a teammate to run onto it.
Portland leading Houston 2-1 at Providence Park. It is our NWSL Game of the Week on Lifetime. Jen Hildreth, Allie Wagner, Dallin Cuff, and our entire Lifetime crew enjoying this one so far. The crowd has provided the rhythm and heartbeat in the stands, and on the field it's been some pretty soccer to watch as well. 3 goals all in the first half. Nobody really getting a good look so far in the second 45 yet. Rose City Riveters always providing just incredible soundtrack and atmosphere to any match played here at Providence Park. Wonder what special songs they had on the song cards they handed out today. Very coordinated fan effort it is here in Portland.
Gotta love it.
Houston having trouble figuring out where to go. Get it to Privet, who throws Lucy off of her, but Lucy committing the foul. Tried to play quick, maybe not the greatest decision. Carly Lloyd already on a yellow card in this match. And she will have a brief chat with Kieran Apt.
Parsons none too happy about this. It's the giveaway. I like the idea to take that quickly, but then just a football tackle takes her down there. Stops the counterattack, absolutely. I mean, professional foul, but I don't know. Can you do that, Jen?
Thinking the yellow card wouldn't have been too crazy to see there as Horan takes the shot just wide. It'll be corner kick coming up for the Thorns, their first of the second half, second of the match. Klingenberg played it short, her first corner kick attempt. Let's see what she goes for this time. Far post, headed back, Campbell takes one away from Horan.
That service in, Horan's just trying to dink that over Campbell. Comfortable save for her, both hands on it, brings it down easily.
Campbell, the 22-year-old goalkeeper who was called into the U.S. camp and on the bench for the Tournament of Nations matches as things are getting heated on the field. But Campbell has earned that starting spot. One of the big changes that Omar Morales made when he took over the head coaching job, said felt like the team needed some change. They were mired in a losing streak, 6 in a row at one point, and she's been a very positive change so far.
A lot of positive changes for this Houston side. The energy, the understanding of their roles, the commitment to them, the willingness to run for each other.
And that's no disrespect to Lydia Williams either. Sometimes you just need a change to get your players to look at things a little bit differently. Give them something fresh to work with. Williams showed her capability in Australia's win over the US for sure. Becky had that deflected. Lucy, tight roping that sideline, finds Christine Sinclair. So smooth on the ball is the Canadian captain. Sets up Horan, her shot is blocked. Sonnet scored her first goal of the season to open things up, and this one trying to get it to Rasso. Van Vyk at the last moment leading in.
Just a couple good spells here by Portland, and that's your center back, Emily Sonnet, stepping out, winning it, trying to play that final ball in. Wrong bend on it, if you ask me, but nonetheless, they earned the corner kick, and we know how they got their first one.
First goal for Portland, a free kick that Klingenberg took, so they have proven to be quite dangerous on set pieces. Plays this one out to Sonnet. Plenty of time. Sonnet perhaps looking for Haran or Sinclair, but too much on the ball. Parsons been pretty heated over there anytime we've gotten a look at him on the sideline.
Well, even when Dallin talked to him at halftime, he said that the call against his team was unfair for the penalty that was awarded, that Lloyd stepped up and buried. I can't fault the referee for making that call. Looked right from here. They got tangled up, was from behind. We'll see if he buys coffee.
He did throw that out there. Well, he predicted we would have a penalty in the second half.
A makeup call.
Portland to take it just from inside midfield.
Looks like Henri's getting ready to check in, and Andresina is jogging over to her bench after warming up, so we may see two of those heavy hitters, as Parson alluded.
First, the service is won by Van Wyk. And that will allow Amandine Henri to make her way onto the field for Portland.
An interesting here, whereas it looks like Tyler Lucy's coming off. We'll see how that shifts things around for Portland.
Lucy hearing it from the crowd, and now they'll turn their applause to Henri as she gets back onto the field for the first time since July 1st. France losing in the quarterfinals of the European Championships. Klingenberg shot, didn't miss by much.
Well, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it, and why not have a go? Klingenberg steps up with this, tries to curl that far post with the inside of her right. Just a bit over the top.
Klingenberg has been active as she usually is, creating chances for her team in this match. Pollyanna can play that same role for Houston. In fact, is the team's leading scorer, 4 goals, 2 assists. Didn't think she was going to get to that ball, and now the dash will make a change. How much gas is left in the tank for Andresina? The 22-year-old Brazilian, as we mentioned, played the full 90 for all 3 matches for Brazil in the Tournament of Nations. She replaces Katie Heap, and we just saw 2 players who have had a pretty big impact in this match head to the sidelines. Heap earned the penalty for Houston in the first half, and Lucy had one of the goals for Portland.
No, you're exactly right, but I understand this substitution. That was the first start for Katie Heap all season long. Contributed well today.
Brynja's daughter. Grasso tightly covered by Levin.
And you want pockets of space, here's one.
Look at that delivery from Andresina, picking out Becky on the other side. Lloyd maybe too long on the ball. She's had Haran all over her back that time. Haran said, "You're gonna keep it on your toe, I'm gonna come take it away."
And it was hard to get a look at whether she was cutting inside on that one, but that ball whipped outside is what launches his attack. And yes, in fact, Carly looks like she's trying to mag Haran there, perhaps. Haran wants none of that action.
I think it will be interesting to see how this Portland team continues to evolve as these players who were away at the European Championships trickle back into the team. Portland, really the only team in the NWSL affected by those European Championships this much, with 3 players away. Nadia Nadim, the leading scorer on the team, wants to win herself a European Championship tomorrow, and when she comes back, could certainly change the texture of things.
I think it's going to be an interesting call by Parsons. We'll see what he opts for, if he opts for the experience, or if he sticks with this group that have really injected life into their attack.
Sinclair trying to get onto that ball in the midfield. There's Andresina.
And then how about with the addition of Savannah Jordan when she becomes available? How does that play out?
Right, the former Florida Gator just signed earlier this month. Injured at the moment, but Parsons expecting big things. Levin trying to get to the end line and does well to do so.
And I haven't highlighted Levin much this game, but in my head, she's been very good solving pressure, and you see her there in the attacking third, taking on, drawing and earning that corner kick for her team.
Houston plays it short, gets it to Andresina. Lloyd, disappointed with that result. We mentioned Nadia Nadim, a big moment coming up for her as Denmark preparing to host Netherlands in the final of the UEFA Women's European Championship. That is tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Denmark and the Netherlands in that championship match.
And the support from the Netherlands has been fantastic for the Euros. It's been fun to watch from afar.
Henry looking to bend it in for Brynjarsdottir. A missed touch by Van Wyk. And Brynjarsdottir happy to accept the corner kick.
And one of the first touches for Henry, she plays that little bender in between the center back and the outside back, Pollyanna. Van Wyk does not handle it well. And now Portland finds himself again with another set piece corner kick.
Klingenberg trying to sneak in a little sip of water over there. As Dallin said, it is hotter. We will have a hydration break in this half. Sinclair. Oh, just outside of the reach of Henry. A welcome back gift that would have been.
Good look at the press right now of Portland. The 3 high, tying in with their midfield, forcing these negative passes by Houston, and earning the turnover. Well played by Portland there. One of the things that Omar Morales talked about in that first game against them was that they needed to hold possession to see that game out when they were leading for, what, 89 minutes or so. Well, today they're having a bit of trouble solving the pressure that Portland's put on them.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier that I felt Houston wasn't able to keep the ball much, and as you pointed out, they weren't able to get the ball very much. Horan on her left foot. Lindsay Horan had one start in the Tournament of Nations. Allie Long warming up on the sideline. She had one start as well off the bench in the other 2 matches for the U.S. Australia winning that Tournament of Nations, and I think you'd have to say, looking pretty impressive in doing so. Horan just keeps right on going. Touch by Sinclair to Klingenberg. Gets the cross, headed away by Van Wyk.
And it's a small detail, but Henry's lucky that Sinclair got a toe on that ball to spring Klingenberg free because she played her to the wrong side. That was the side the defender was on. And Sinclair gets that toe poke to let Kling fly down that flank.
Lloyd trying to get it to Prince. Poliana, Daly, knocked from behind from Sonnet. Grasso sees plenty of room to work it out for Reynolds. No, Sykes, excuse me, Sykes on the ball for Portland.
Great awareness by Rasso to spring that ball wide.
Horan wanted it, and Campbell just enough to keep it out of the goal.
This is so good by Portland. The numbers filtered centrally. They kicked it wide. They recycled it, and then they had numbers in the box. That's Horan peeling off the shoulder of, I believe, the center back, giving herself a little bit of space and just tries to redirect that far post. Campbell does well to get down and avoid contact with the post as well.
Portland has headed more goals home over the last 2 years than any other team in the NWSL. Horan, one of the best at it. Klingenberg trying to work another opportunity in the air. Sent back in, nobody breathing easy yet in a blue uniform. Sinclair brings it down.
And there's so many little things that you look for in a game that open things up. And the last two attacks from Portland, what I've seen is players on the interception playing a one-touch advancing ball. And so many times that unsettles the back line. That initial pass, when they're not ready for it, can open things up, and you're seeing it. We saw it with Mangus on this side, and then we just saw it with Sykes on the far side.
Mangus and Henry trying to work it around Andresinia. Cannot do it without committing the foul. And the dash will make way for Brooks to come and take this. Perhaps thought about a short option for a moment. Thinks about it again. Cami Privet will set up Poliana. And that has got to be frustrating as the offside flag goes up.
I mean, quite simply, that's inexcusable by Poliana. This looks to be something, she's looking down the whole line, and this looks to be a set play they've worked on. I like the idea, but no need. The awareness has got to be there to stay onside. Same pattern, target Sinclair on those balls out of the back, pick up the second one, run at that back line.
Van Wyk down on the ground for Houston. What a tremendous presence she's been brought into the team. Most capped player in South African history. Really added a veteran presence to that Houston back line.
I think both her and Brooks have really shored things up for them.
Yeah, it looks early on that Bruna Benitez, the Brazilian center back, would be the one there next to Van Wyk, but Brooks has been a good move, I think, in your opinion, in that spot.
I just think she reads it well, she organizes them well. Of course, there's still space to be had if you're playing against them as their opposition, but the organization and the understanding, the way they're stepping and dropping is much more fluid and together than it was without her in that back line.
Sinclair trying to head it forward for Rasso. Van Wyk maybe taking a little too much time as she was pestered by Rasso.
And really had no options to speak of. I mean, she's looking up. If you don't have anyone, be safe, clear that out.
And now, ball in a pretty dangerous position here for Portland.
Almost same spot they scored from in the first half, I believe.
And on that one, wasn't so much the first ball, but the second one that Portland eventually owned and finished off the foot of Emily Sonnet. Klingenberg. Sonnet up there again. Sinclair wins it for the Thorns. Haran. Headed attempt. Will go wanting. Sonnet taking this opportunity to stay in the attack for a little bit. Now she'll head back.
Now she's just getting greedy.
Just wants another one. The crowd cheering as Allie Long set to come into the match for the Thorns. She will play Stagny Brynja's-Daughter.
Brynja's-Daughter, I think, had a solid outing in the center of midfield, taking over for Long in there. Expect to see more of her going forward. It'll be interesting to see where, though. Does she slide into an outside back spot? Does she fill in the midfield as another option?
Allie Long has played a couple of different roles, both for Portland and for the U.S. in this calendar year. Maybe still trying to find her way a little bit after an impressive 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely talking about Brynja's-Daughter, where she's going to slide into this group. But I think with Long, I think she hasn't found her form yet this year. I think she'd probably be the first one to tell you. I mean, with the U.S. team, a lot of change going on there, not a lot of consistency. And then here with Portland, you know, they're asking her to drop in deep. Now probably not as much in terms of playing out. We'll see how it evolves in the rest of the season.
Daly, 1-2 from Lloyd. She's fouled by Sonnet. Now it'll be a free kick and a pretty good spot for Houston on the other end. Andresina has scored directly off of free kick already this season.
And a couple good targets in Privet and Pollyanna, although she's gotten on the scoreboard, some of it's been off of those second balls on these set pieces.
Everyone set. Andresina serves it toward Pollyanna, toward. She hoped another teammate. Instead, it was cleared by Portland. Pollyanna again got her head to it, took a bump from Klingenberg in the process. Haran has won that battle today, at least so far.
Sometimes when you know a player so well, it can be a huge asset. But for Houston, I think they're just caught between two minds. Are they sitting back and countering, or are they in this tweener of pressure zone? I don't know that they've picked their identity for this match, and I think they're paying the price a bit. In that first game against Portland, in the first half in particular, I thought they did very well keeping things tight. We'll see if it evolves.
We will now take a hydration break. Be right back to Portland.
This is Truly. It's spiked sparkling water. Simple, refreshing, and only 100 calories. Perfect for those who live life well. Truly, truly refreshing.
The only thing harder than winning a state championship is being prepared to win it again. Get everything they need to make it count for less. This week at Staples, shop our 50-cent deals. Staples, it's pro time.
Sarah, could you come in here?
Yep, coming. Oh, wow. What kind of underwear are those?
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
What are those?
Guys.
They're breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
Yes, they have these tiny holes to let the air through. Can you help me?
Wow, well, wee woo. Look at those. Can you feel this?
Yeah. Turn around for me. Seriously?
Slower. Go slower. I don't think you should get that dress. It doesn't fit.
Stay cool with breathable underwear from Fruit of the Loom.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing.
It's gonna work. I promise you. We can figure this out.
A little help?
Hold on, Mom. No, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. It's not a question. It's a thing.
Take on summer right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now with summer's hottest offer. Get 0% for 72 months plus an additional $1,000 on top of your trade-in. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, get 0% for 72 months plus an additional $1,000 on top of your trade-in. Offer ends soon.
We can't stay here.
Why?
Terrible toilet paper. I'll never get clean.
Way ahead of you.
Charmin Ultra Strong. It cleans better. It's 4 times stronger, and you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What if we could bring you better value by having better values? At Blue Apron, we work directly with more than 100 family farms. So instead of spending on costly middlemen and supermarkets, we can invest in the things that matter most. Making farmland healthier, cutting down on food waste, and bringing you higher quality, fresher ingredients for less than you pay at the store. Because food is better when you start from scratch. Get $30 off at blueapron.com/cook.
One laugh, and hello, sensitive bladder. Ring a bell? Then you have to try Always Discreet. I didn't think protection this thin could work. But the super absorbent core turns liquid to gel for incredible protection. So it's out of sight and out of mind. Hey. Always Discreet for bladder leaks. I've discovered incredible bladder leak underwear that hugs every curve. Can't tell I'm wearing it, can you? Always Discreet underwear for bladder leaks.
This is Truly. It's spiked sparkling water. Simple, refreshing, and only 100 calories. Perfect for those who live life well. Truly, truly refreshing.
Portland trying to hang on to the 1-goal advantage that it had heading into the second half. The Thorns have really dominated this second half so far, haven't given Houston much of a chance. Sinclair got a touch to it, Rasso just in time. Now the chance for Long. Three players on the ground after that sequence, including Van Wyk and Horan.
And this looked to be a good counterattack coming from Portland, but Horan and Van Wyk both battle over that heavy touch by Horan as she's trying to scoop by Privet in the center of midfield. Both left worse for the wear, but Allie Long has to put that one away. Just too much time sometimes, and it sits up on you and you relax. Got a goal the other week with her foot off of a set piece.
Allie Long, 30 goals all time for Portland, but you're right, and especially, you know, as a player, when you see the sacrifice that your teammates made to get you that wide open look.
Well, sometimes you're sitting in that spot and you're so open that, like I said, you just take a breath to relax, and sometimes that intensity is what keeps you from not leaning back, from getting over it, hitting it snappy, keeping it on frame, across the momentum of the goalie, but she gets it all wrong there.
Well, Van Wyk hobbling, but back on her feet, and it's a good sign for Houston. Reminder that you can see the UEFA Women's Euro Championship match tomorrow. That will be on ESPN2. Nani and Nadim and Denmark taking on the Netherlands at time 10:30 Eastern. Let me correct that for you. Gave you the wrong time before. 10:30 Eastern time on ESPN2.
For everyone hemming and hawing that USA is losing its dominance, look at the Euros. Germany was knocked out early. The game is changing. Welcome it with open arms.
Klingenberg desperately wanted to keep possession and will. Daly pleading her case. Portland has outshot Houston in the second half 9-1, including that last shot from long.
They just haven't found their way in the second half at all. No sense of rhythm, no possession to speak of, and no real counterattacks either.
Rasso maybe thinking her Australian teammate Sykes a little higher up on the field than she was.
I mean, the way that Portland has nullified Carly Lloyd in that seam, Houston needs to do the same thing against Christine Sinclair. When she gets on the ball, someone has to be in her pocket and disrupt her, because she's been the one setting play for this Portland side.
If you compare those two and the number of times they've had to be a facilitator in this match, it is far in favor of Sinclair.
Absolutely, and it's because she finds those pockets, but she's been effective in them because Houston hasn't been spying her the way they've been spying Lloyd.
Sykes to Rasso. Klingenberg wants it for Haran. We showed you a little behind the scenes action of this terrific crowd, the Rose City Riveters. And they have shown up today. 18,243 the attendance. And they have been loud and made their presence felt this entire match. Will they have a chance to cheer here? Looked like she was dragged down, Henri.
Well, if Parsons thought he was going to get his makeup call, that would have been it.
At least on first glance, it looked questionable.
And I think we can still hear him screaming from up here.
I didn't even need Dallin to give me the report that time. I could hear him up in the booth. But Portland still on the attack. Henri had it back. Rasso wasn't quite ready for it. Sinclair taking it away, laying out to keep it. Haran wanting to turn, double coverage made it tough.
Well, that's something Haran's been so good at all season long, is solving pressure in that seam.
Sykes, player who's had to come along a little quicker maybe than Mark Parsons intended her to, with some of the players away. Prince, who's barely had the ball in this second half, can't keep it here.
And this is what I mean by Houston being caught between two minds. You see Daly going, but no one was really tied in with her. It was half pressure. And when you have half pressure against a team like Portland, they're going to hit you.
Oh, Rasso will want that back, but Sinclair has it, takes the shot, and doesn't hit her target.
And this all starts from Portland solving that pressure. Rasso with an unlucky touch, but a fortuitous bounce to Sinclair. Lines it up on her left foot. Necessary intervention by Pollyanna, you'd have to think.
Fifth quarter of the second half for Portland. Klingenberg serves it in. Far post in the air, headed out of danger. Rasso trying to keep it going. Gets it down, back to Sinclair, the shot, and Campbell right there waiting.
So good by Long to flick that on, and Horan with that little one-touch ball with Sinclair facing up.
Becky now the other way. Really the only time Houston's had the ball, and they didn't have it long.
And sometimes as a player, you've got to recognize, you've got to slow it down a bit. With Sinclair on that far end, though, those are the balls that I think of her finishing. And all season long, she's had those chances, and she hasn't been as clinical as I think of years before.
Each team with one substitution remaining. Looks like both teams getting ready to make a change. Sarah Hagan and Celeste Bourret waiting to check in. Houston could not see the game out when these two teams met the first time this season. Now Portland trying to hold on at home and maintain their one-goal advantage. Some better pressure by the dash. Andresina at the head of it.
You can call her, but just stay back a second.
Sinclair to Horan with acres of room and time. Takes the shot. Campbell once again comes up with a save. The Thorns, looking for some insurance, have had a couple of golden opportunities.
And here's where perhaps you keep possession and stop going to goal. With those hydration breaks, it's always difficult to tell exactly how much time will be added. But you got to assume 5 minutes or so to go.
That is a great point. You'll get a minimum of 3 from that hydration break itself. So whatever else the referee adds on in addition to that.
And look, if you're Houston, I know it's hot, I know you're tired, but you got to ratchet up the pressure, try to steal one, pick off a ball in decent position and go to goal.
Omar Morales told us that he really tells his team to short-term it, take it 1 half at a time, not look too far ahead, but look, they were in a big hole at the bottom of the table, moved their way up from that into 6th place. Campbell, big mistake there. Rasso unable to make her pay for it.
Well, there it is, 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Lloyd and Horan. Lloyd on the ground. There's certainly some jersey tugging going on, probably a bit from both sides over there, but it is Sykes who's called for it.
And just some fun battles to watch today. And with Hagan coming in for Houston, looks like for Nichelle Prince, you know, that's got to be a move that Houston's lumping it forward. Hagan's very good back to goal, holding players off, good in the air, so you think they're going to just be sending balls now with around 6 minutes remaining in this match, trying to get that equalizer.
And Houston, let me correct myself, does still have 1 substitution remaining. Celeste Bourret will be the final substitution for Portland. She's been an outside back 2 times starting this season, several times off the bench.
Sykes getting the old hurry along message from the ref.
I couldn't read my writing. It is 12 starts that Bourret has had this season, so plenty of experience and a solid defensive player as Portland is trying to see this one out. Andresina will be the one to take the service eventually. Lloyd onto it, has the shot.
And that's pretty well drawn up if you're Houston. You can't get that first ball because it is such a far distance on the initial pass, pick up that second one, and you want it falling at that woman's feet right there, Carly Lloyd. Can't get it on frame, however.
Lloyd with the only goal for the Dash in this match, that one coming from the penalty spot in the 33rd minute. Brooks not allowing Horan to get to it. Campbell once again with Rasso right in her range. There's Bure. Bure won't be able to get to it. Portland looking to pick up a perfect 9 points in this 3-game homestand that they've had. They'll hit the road to go to Chicago and Kansas City after this one. And they'll get another corner, which you can bet they'll take their time setting up.
Yeah, and I don't want to be cynical on this, but I'm going to have to be, because Rasso, if she's thinking she's going to get the corner, great, if that was her intent, but she was so far away when she wiped that at Van Wyk. There was no one in the box for Portland. There's no need to serve that. Spin out, go to the corner and hold it there, hold possession, kill this game off. I think she got fortunate on that one.
Now the Thorns will do just that. Force Houston to get them out of that corner. Horan does well to hold off 2 Dash players and get the ball. 4 minutes into this minimum of 7 minutes of stoppage time added on in the second half. Very frustrated.
Just calling for a foul throw there. But you want a lesson in how to kill a game off. This is it right now by Portland, now that they finally have gotten into that corner.
Eighth corner of the match for Portland. And though they have no goals to show for it in the second half, they have absolutely dominated since halftime. Hagen, second half substitution. We'll keep it for Houston on the throw. What do you think the difference was in the second half, Allie, that just would not allow Houston to get into the game much?
I felt like their pressure let off. I felt like they were, like I said, in between two minds of, do we press, or are we going high pressure, or are we sitting back? And neither happened. So it allowed Portland too much space and time on the ball just to dictate play. And then Portland was really good swarming on those transition moments. When they lost it, Houston was having a very difficult time getting any sort of rhythm, releasing that initial wave of pressure, so then they, in fact, could play. And as the half wore on, you saw the movement and the energy die by Houston. I think all the things I raved about coming into the match, their work ethic, I think it petered out a bit as they lost confidence and rhythm in the game. Because when you're not having joy, when you're not seeing the ball, you tend to move less.
Omar Morales talked a lot about his focus, as many coaches will tell you, on their own team and not so much on your opponent, but sometimes your opponent can make you question your approach. Rasso on the ground, no foul. Parsons animated on the sideline once again at the lack of a whistle. Long couldn't hang on. Hagen touches it down to Lloyd, quite ready for the return ball as Menges was defending. Poliana trying to make a run onto this one. Klingenberg makes sure she won't get there. Parsons had some strong words about some soft calls in the first half, but in the end, Allie, his team gets the 2-1 win.
Yeah, they clearly didn't need that makeup call, and I think this was an all-around, perhaps best performance for Portland. They took the initiative, they took it early, and they didn't slow down. Offensively, they were firing with great movement. Defensively, they were getting to the ball, not allowing Houston to build out. Massive win for Portland. Important 3 points at home.
That moves Portland up to 28 points, which at the moment ties with Chicago at the top of the table. Dallin Cuff busy on the field, and he is with Tyler Lucy.
Thanks, Jen. Tyler, you know what it's like to score a lot of goals. You did it at Princeton, all-time leader, 53 goals, but your first one in a professional game. How was this different?
We were just attacking as much as possible and pressing their back line, and Klingenberg got a cross, and we do that every day in practice, and it was just jumbling around in the box, and I just passed it to the net. So it was a great feeling and a great team goal.
You guys have won 3 straight games here at home. You started all those games. What do you think you bring this squad?
I think I bring a lot of attacking ability and pressing and just working hard and pressing their back line.
Now, there's a lot of international talent on this team. You've broken into this roster. What have you learned from some of these players that have played at the highest level?
The speed of play is so fast, but they move the ball. They're working with me, and it's just incredible to work with such world-class players.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It can be a big jump, a big difference, Allie, when even if you are a big-time goal scorer, as Dallin mentioned Lucy was in college, to get that first one at the next level.
I mean, yeah, she just capitalized on a moment, and when you have those instincts, it doesn't matter what level it is, it's always going to present itself, and she showed up in a big way, but I think what she talked about was her ability to press the back line. That has been massive for Portland.
Well, Lindsey Horan, another player who was so great on the field for Portland, and she's with Down.
Thanks, Jen. Lindsey, first question out of the gate. You're just coming off the Tournament of Nations. You logged some minutes there. You said pretty tired. How are you feeling physically after logging a tough 90 minutes here?
I mean, a little tired, yeah. But, I just wanted to come in and help my team as much as I possibly could and get this win because it's very important for us moving forward. And Houston has some players that are coming out of this tournament as well, so we're in the same spot.
In the second half, you guys really seemed to lock down the game. What was the difference? There's a great celebration here. We're getting mowed down. What was the difference in the second half for you guys to really lock it down, not allow them to get any real chances on the offensive end?
I think we all just started connecting. We got a few fresh bodies in, and we started moving the ball more instead of just hitting it long and having people run all over the place. We were just connecting it, moving it, and we were more together.
Go get in that mess over there. Have fun.
Thanks, Dallin. Well, Portland, in Allie Wagner's opinion, maybe playing its best game of the season. We'll break it down a bit more when we come back. The Thorns 2-1 winners over the Dash.